Good morning and welcome. I'm Karen. This is Veronica Streams Coaching and Tarot. Today's Friday. Yay! For those of you who have Friday, your last day of the week. And this is going to be our daily reading, looking at current situation using the Somnia Tarot. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. Let's see what we got going on. 1 second. Okie dokie. What we got? Current situation. 6 of Swords. Present influence. Hierophant. Future influence. 2 of Cups. Unexpected. 4 of Cups. What we don't see is the 9 of Cups. Challenge. 10 of Pentacles. Strength. King of Swords. Where does this lead? Knight of Cups. Empress. King of Pentacles. Interesting, didn't it? King of Coins came up yesterday and where this led, only it was the first one. So that's interesting. I will say with the 2 of Cups and the future influence and then the Knight of Cups, there does feel to me like some kind of, honestly, what's really strange is I kind of feel like this is a healing thing, but we'll see. Advice is 10 of Wands. Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck again. So this kind of takes over from yesterday because I do remember Queen of Wands being at the bottom of the deck. And we had Queen of Cups being in the present influence. So with that, I feel like, well, there is, I still feel like this is kind of like a search for that Queen of Wands attitude or feeling, like you're trying to find that motivation, that excitement. And that's kind of just in the background. It's the bottom of the deck, so it's not necessarily the whole reading, but it kind of revolves around it. So it's just good to know that maybe that's part of all of this. We have the 6 of Swords, and this is kind of where I'm getting this too, with the 6 of Swords being in the current situation. You're like, okay, I got to find this. I've got to find this. There is something too here with the Hierophant where I feel like it's, in some cases it feels like a commitment to yourself, but more importantly, it feels more spiritual. Like I really need, this is important to my inner self. You know, it's not necessarily all about work or all about a love or all about anybody else, but it's like, this is important for me, to find this, to do the 6 of Swords thing, to go and search. And it's not even like a search, it's just a quest. You know, this is something I need to do. And let's take a look at the Hierophant first. Let's clarify the Hierophant because it's curious to me. But I feel like that's what it is. With this being the influence, there's the Hierophant that's influencing you, taking that 6 of Swords, taking that initiative to go, to leave, to not, to, I don't want to say it's leave something from behind. It's more headed towards something better. And a lot of times the 6 of Swords is like the 8 of Cups to me is just to saying goodbye to something that's no longer serving you. The 6 of Swords is like growth. Like this is where I was and I've learned. So now I need to go to the next thing, you know, that's like a movement up, kind of like the Death, but not really, you know, same type of, you're not necessarily leaving something bad, but it's been hard and it's smoother now, but it comes from this, Hierophant, which I feel like is the key here. The Hierophant, please. What is this? Magician, Ace of Wands, and Empress. I feel like the Magician to the Ace of Wands. And I don't normally get this with the Magician. It is the search for the truth, knowing that you can find the truth. I feel like it's a confidence thing though, because I feel like with the Magician, it's confidence. I have all the tools, I can do all of the things, and I feel like that's what it is. The Ace of Wands is that Queen of Wands energy of going after something. and finding that passion, that excitement again. And the Empress is about taking care of yourself. So I do feel like this is all about, you wanting to take care of yourself, but you understand, I feel like this, the Magician with the Ace of Wands and the Hierophant, you understand that it's up to you. It's not going to come from anything around you to find the passion. Yes, sometimes outer things absolutely do help, but they're not the key. The key is for you to find it within yourself. Let's clarify the Six of Swords as well. So the Six of Swords in the current situation, which is, where are we headed here? What's going on? Let's see if there's anything else we can get out of this. Tell me about the Six of Swords. Let's see, what's the Six of Swords? Okay, there's that Queen of Cups, the Fool, the World. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, the Fool to the World. It's like, yeah, there's like this is part of the search. I feel like you are looking at something in a caring sort of way, and it has led to, yeah, I want to jump in, right? Like to take a leap of faith with that Fool, but the world is realizing that no, it's time to graduate. It's time to move towards something better. And again, as we talk about the world, it is an ending, but it's a successful ending. It's not like scary or anything. It's like, this is happening. Not that anything new coming in, because I feel like it comes after. Now it's odd to me. It's odd to me with the Fool going straight to the World. So there, it feels to me like the Six of Swords is, there felt like there was something new, but it's already done. So, and that's what I think, like, you realize this. So there is this a whole feeling of moving on from something that maybe you felt like was a kickstart, but no, it's the world. But I feel like too, that world is also you realizing where you want to go. That's what, really it is, because that's what the world is. Well, it's not understanding exactly where you want to go, but knowing that it's time to level up. Like, okay, you leave college, like I explained, that's usually like how I explain the world. You graduate, well, now what? I can't stay in school forever, so now it's time. Well, some people do, but now it's time to, go take these skills and use them. Um, we have the Two of Cups in the future influence. I'll get a clarifier for this. I want to see if this is like an influence of somebody helping you, or if this is the idea that's influencing you. The idea of the Two of Cups, the idea of being with someone, working with someone, getting help from somebody, having a partnership. What is this Two of Cups, please, in the future influence? Two of Wands, the Emperor, and Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this could be someone that comes in. The Two of Wands, I feel like, okay, the plans are being made here with this Two of Cups. It comes from the Emperor, which would be someone that's in control or has control of a situation. So this could be a partnership. And the Four of Pentacles, I would say this is something you've been holding on to. And it may not have to do with this, what you're leaving behind, but it could. And in other words, like this Two of Cups, if it's a person or even a situation, because it could be with this, you you have to decide whether you want to continue to hold on to it. Now that's the Six of Swords too, but it's like it comes back around, and so it's going to confuse you a little bit, because you like this. I feel like, oh, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do today, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, now this happens, and I feel like that's the Two of Wands. Plans are being made now. I I still think that with the Four of Pentacles here, you'll still question what to do with this situation. So if this is influencing you, then I feel like Julie, that feels like somebody. And I feel like it is an energy that you've been holding on to, but I do feel like with all of the other cards, you're going to have to decide like what to do. And I think the only reason why it comes up is if you're planning on doing something different with that Six of Swords, looking at your life differently, this you may handle differently as well. Now, and what you don't see is the Nine of Cups. So there's something here about reaching. Oh, and the Nine of Cups was at the bottom of the deck there. So this is, what you don't realize is there's some kind of dreams like here for you. Tell me about this Nine of Cups, because I feel like if we don't see it, we don't realize that there's something good happening here. And so we need to like focus on maybe, but the problem is we don't know. And if you don't know, it's hard to focus on it, right? Like if you don't know about it. The Nine of Cups, please. There's that Nine of Cups again. Six of Pentacles and the Justice. So yeah, like there's something happening. So this is still something that you're really wishing that there's like some kind of camaraderie or working together or being in a, sharing with the situation. I feel like this could be love. This could be work. It could be family. The thing here is though, I feel like what this is really about is understanding it. Like we've had this come up a lot. Like there's something here that just is not clear. And I don't know that it becomes clear yet. Maybe. I don't know that it's one of those things. Will it ever? Because it keeps coming up. It pops up a lot. And so until you become clear on something. The other thing is that there could be with the Hierophant too, and then this, there could be some kind of commitment. What that commitment is could be a commitment to how to move forward, not necessarily a committed relationship, but a commitment as far as this is what my expectations are, and this is what their expectations are, whether this be work or any kind of relationship. Let's take a look at the Four of Cups in the unexpected. Tell me about the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups, when I look at it, to me, it's always about that dream. Like you have your eyes set on something and something else is coming through and you're not seeing it. And this is all about keeping those eyes open. Don't be so focused on one thing that you miss out on everything else. So let's see what this is in the unexpected, because I feel like it could be that you're either surprised because you get tripped up, or that thing comes in, which I feel like with these energies, where this all leads is good. Haha. Six of Swords, Hermit, and the Death card. So I think you don't realize that whatever you're doing with the Six of Swords, wherever you're headed, whatever you're learning from and moving forward on, has led you to yeah, it could be a discovery, because you have taken that time. Now with the Hierophant, I feel like in that present influence, I feel like you've taken the time. So this would be an addition to that, like, okay, I've discovered this, and now again, like this is a lot like the world. You're at a point where um, things have changed. So I do feel like your dreams may have changed a little bit here. You have a different move forward, and I feel like the surprise is that the things that you've had your eyes set on have changed, and so you have a different perspective now. And I think it comes from what you found with this Hermit, but it wouldn't have happened till you decided to say, okay, I'm moving forward here. The Ten of Pentacles is in the challenge. So there is something here about stability, that, or you're worried about work, or there's a challenge here that maybe making a decision or moving forward here might be challenging to your money, your home, your um, just your stability in general. What is this Ten of Pentacles here? What is this Ten of Pentacles? Okay, Eight of Wands, Tower, Empress, or no, this is Strength. The Ten of Wands is Strength too, because that's that hard card, having those burdens. The Tower, I feel like there's something here that is going to change. And the Ten of Wands is that burden. And I'll show you in a second. I'm looking at it right now. But that having that heavy load is going to shift some kind of energy, and you're going to have to be strong here. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge to keep that strength. And it does have to do with some kind of stability here. There's a shift in energy or a change that's going to be a challenge for you. Again, when I see something in the challenge, it's not saying you can't get over it. It wouldn't be there. It's there as a reminder or a warning ahead of time. Like if something happens, hang in there. Like, you know, because we've got the 10 of Wands, and then 10 of Wands is our um, advice here too. So it's like you just kind of got to look at this differently. So there's something you're going to have to carry a little bit differently coming in. Then we have the King of Swords and the Strength. Now, I feel like this is you understanding. Let's clarify this King of Swords to be sure. I feel like it's, you know, the strength of the intellect and being precise. There's something here where you may need to be precise, and if you do, you have that within you to do so, or you already used it. Tell me about this King of Swords, or it could be someone. So that's what I want to clarify. Three of Swords, Seven of Swords, King of Cups. So this, I think this is understanding. This could be someone, but the important thing with this King of Swords, the strength here, is if you've been let down or have been hurt or have been sad, and it had to do with like not understanding, not something not being honest, the Seven of Swords, something being hidden from you, that the King of Cups, the strength is that by you understanding that, it's easier to move forward, and that's the strength. There's something here. Now this King of Cups is, so there's a big difference between the King of Swords and the King of Cups. The King of Swords is not very loving, you know, to be honest. It's not that he can't love. That's not it. It's he is a very intellect, very direct, may have said something that hurt you. And I feel like that the strength here is that you understand that. So if you're going to move forward and find this energy within someone else or in a situation, you know now what could cause pain. And so it's a strength in the sense that you know what you're dealing with. And you understand more about what could happen, or since if you've been hurt before, sometimes if someone, especially if it's the same person, they hurt you again, it gets less and less, because then it's just the point where I can't deal with that anymore. But if it's someone new, it's saying you can see that coming in. Don't like, because if you've been hurt recently in the past and this is a new situation, you have better sight moving forward from what you've learned from the past. So we have the Knight of Cups is where this all leads. And I find this interesting because I do feel like this is energy coming in. It could be someone, it could be energy. But the important thing here, it comes in as a gift, and it's sweet, and it's a gift from either somebody or the universe, or even it's not necessarily an offer. It's a gift. And when I say offer is usually something you can say yes or no to. So it could be, but I'm getting more of a feeling that it's a gift. You're getting something here, and it may be from somebody, it may not. So tell me about this Knight of Cups, the Star, Ace of Swords, and so what you get here, what the gift is. There's something here with the Star. There's something about you needing to understand the Ace of Swords, your what you're really dreaming. Like, it's almost like that you get, this is what I want, this is what I think I want anyway, these are what I'm dreaming about, this is my hopes, these are my true, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to be, whatever that energy is of the Star for you. And you get complete clarity on how to reach this, or at least where to start. And that's what this gift is from the Knight of Cups, because ultimately it's a gift of happiness, but it comes with work here. Because I feel like with that Ace of Swords, it's taken some work. Like, you've had to get clear about something. And that, so that is the gift, is the clarity. And then it can lead to some, some happy times here. So then it goes to the Empress. So the Empress, to me, can be, just being, feeling nurtured or being nurtured. You feel like, I think of the Empress a lot as, well, let's see what it says. Wow, Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, Ace of Swords. This to me is total understanding. This is all to me. The Ace and the Page of Swords to me almost mean the same thing. They can be epiphanies. They could be that spark, because the Page is the youngest of the courts, and the Ace is the beginning of the minors. So they're both that spark of understanding, but it comes from the Queen, which is, I feel like you, and I feel like what happens here is that you understand. And that Empress energy, this doesn't have to be female, is you being in a position of, I want to say, like, maturity in this situation, that you will be able to take care of things and feel taken care of. So whatever is happening here, I feel like with that Empress, it's going to feel really good, honestly, like that energy of, um I feel like it's maturity more than anything. It feels good. So then we get the King of Coins. So we've got, let's see what the King of Coins is. To me, it was all about stability, and we had the Ten of Pentacles in the challenge. So what is this King telling us here? Because I like that. I mean, I do like the King of Coins, especially if this is work related, or something with the home or something like that. I feel like this could be definitely work, like something's happening at work where you're feeling like you need to make some kind of commitment there. But let's see, what's the King of Coins? Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Eight of Cups. This would be, I mean, I think this is you understanding exactly where you need to go, with that final card being the Eight of Cups. The Two of Pentacles is having the time to balance things more, but the Five of Swords is understanding maybe something that was really difficult, or something that you felt like maybe people weren't being honest or doing their truth. They were maybe not being 100% honest with you. And it's not necessarily a fight, but it could be like a disagreement. But more importantly is that there wasn't the truth there. And I feel like that Eight of Cups is you understanding exactly where you need to go. I don't know that, and I feel like this, and maybe because the honesty prevails, and again, with all that, the Ace of Swords and the Page of Swords, it's that clarity, honesty, understanding, and we have the Justice somewhere in there. The understanding again that you'll know why. You'll know why. Like this Eight of Cups is more. So when I said like the Six of Swords is you kind of growing, we're moving out of rocky waters. This is leaving something behind and saying, no, it's not good for me. Now, I mean, we're doing a daily reading, and so we can't leave something behind every day, right? We get these cards regularly, but it is, to me, I think it might be an idea as well. When I see these in daily readings, I think of not as much situations, but in how we're perceiving and how we're dealing with the situation. And I think this feels like I got to let that go. You realize that you have to, but it comes from this. It comes from the balance and the understanding of something here with that Five of Swords, like what was not being fair. We have the Ten of Wands in the advice. If things are feeling kind of rough and heavy, you have to, the only way to deal with it is say, is there any way I can do this and carry this load differently? Is it reorganizing time, reorganizing what priorities I have, because I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, the only way to do that is to rearrange. Some cases it is about letting something go. Sometimes there's something in your life, if you're feeling that overwhelmed, that you'll, okay, this I can leave behind because I don't need it. And that, I feel like, too, is the Eight of Cups there. You'll understand what you need to leave behind, but you have to look for it too. That's kind of what the advice is. And it really is. If you're feeling, and I feel like a lot of this is a little bit overwhelming because there's something about not understanding. And once you understand, then there might be room to let something go or to put it on the back burner or to not allow it to run your thoughts. That's because there's a lot of aces clarifiers. I mean, a lot of swords as clarifiers here. So I feel like those swords keep telling us something. However, you do have the King of Swords in that positive. Is there anything else we need to know? I'm gonna put that. Is there anything else we need to know? Ace of Wands to the King of Wands to the Tower. So a new energy coming in, and I feel like the King of Wands is that energy. Whether it's you changing your perspective, he's looking directly at that Ace of Wands. So it's you going, here's an opportunity. I'm going to grab a hold of the opportunity. So the opportunity comes in, the King grabs a hold of that opportunity, and then things change. So it comes from looking at your new opportunities and allowing things to change. And I feel like that's another piece to this. We have the tower somewhere else too. So oh yeah, it was in the challenge. So it may be difficult, but I feel like this is going to be, in the end, it's going to be good too, because we have that King of Pentacles. So there you have your reading for today. I hope you liked it. Let me know. Take care. Have a beautiful day.